Hello family. The title of my message is, The Authority of the Chosen Casting Out Demons. In this discussion, I wanted to talk directly to those who have chosen to incarnate upon this planet, for this age of Aquarius, those who volunteered to be here and rise the consciousness of other chosen ones. Because if you are alive right now, and on this planet, you too, dear one, are a chosen as well. Chosen meaning, you were given the opportunity and permission to evolve here during the hardest times for this planet and humanity. You chose to also be here and play whatever role you are playing, although unconsciously for most, you are still an important part of the whole, and each of us are doing what we came here to do. We are taking on opposite polarities, like a chess game. There are the dark pieces and the light, all moving with the abilities they empowered, completing the assignment. The pawn is just as important as the queen or rook. We are truly all part of the same game. Just like in an army, there are ranks, the entire brigade is vital, yet a selected group may be the first on the front line and other take on the assignment they are best trained and suited for. The same goes for the chosen. The final battle of this kind, if you will, because we all shall continue to evolve, there is no end game. I noticed that there is so much out there, in informative videos, blogs, vlogs, essay, books, movies, you name it, on the chosen, lightworkers, starseeds, etc. Always being attacked and needing to protect themselves. Urgent warnings to be careful and protect our space and energy, all of that. While very little, I've noticed, on the true status of the chosen. We are not timid, fearful or paranoid little lambs, running around hiding and trying to defend ourselves from the constant attacks of the dark ones. No, on the contrary. Family. When it comes to dealing with demonic forces, chosen are not left powerless and defenseless. In fact, the chosen have been given the authority to cast out demons by the powers of God vested in them. When chosen, invoke the powers of the all from within, demons are compelled to obey and submit. This authority is not limited to a select few, but it is available to every being. By exercising this authority, one can bring about freedom from demonic influences in their own lives, and in the lives of others. You are given authority to trample on snakes and scorpions and to overcome all the power of the enemy, emphasizing the divine empowerment granted to chosen in combating spiritual opposition. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. The Spirit is a powerful force that aids the chosen in the spiritual battle against demonic oppression. Acting as a divine guide and protector, the Spirit within us provides strength to individuals striving to overcome the negative forces. Through the Spirit's indwelling presence, the chosen are empowered with the ability to resist temptation, renounce demonic strongholds, and experience release of all spiritual bondage. Furthermore, the chosen are equipped with spiritual gifts, such as the gift of discernment or the gift of tongues, which can be utilized in spiritual warfare, reinforcing their authority in casting out demons. When engaging in spiritual warfare, one should first and foremost rely on the power within, against the forces of darkness. Individuals can tap into this supernatural power, allowing them to triumph over the forces of darkness in their lives. They can confidently face and overcome any form of demonic oppression that seeks to hinder their spiritual growth and well-being. Now please understand, this power is not just to defend against, but to overcome and dictate God's will, through all beings, and establish the highest good for Mother Earth. God's will be done on earth, as it is in heavens. Remember this. As above, so below. Our power is far more extensive than only putting down the darkness, but also for establishing the perfection of the 5D crystalline solar light new Earth, as intended before man's fall. This knowledge not only equips us to recognize the schemes of the enemy but also empowers each of us to stand firm in their own purpose, and resist the lower vibrational temptations and attacks of the negative polarities or dark ones that are determined at keeping us stuck in a perception of duality, separation, and in survival instincts of the lower third dimension. This particular ruler stood out to me, although known much like Hitler for his ruthlessnesses and the death of many. I look at his powerful offensive strategy, which was practically unbeatable. Note that I said offensive strategy and not defensive. This ruler was not hiding or fearful, nor trying to protect his army from the opposition. Named Temujin at birth, Genghis Khan, Great Khan, was the founder and first Khan of the largest empire on earth, the Mongol Empire, 1206 to 1368. At its peak, his empire covered an area of more than 10 million square miles, or about 20% of the world's land area. He said, "I am the punishment of God. If you had not committed great sins, God would not have sent a punishment like me upon you." His army was almost unstoppable as it rode through Asia, the Middle East, and Europe. Had it not been for his death in 1227, nothing would have stood in his way as he headed toward Eastern Europe and the rest of the Middle East. His army was fast and versatile, largely due to the use of mounted archers. They were trained to shoot accurately while riding and shoot in all directions, even from behind. No infantry at the time could withstand Khan's marching hordes led by his generals such as Subutai and Jeeb, which were actually the ones responsible for extending the empire. I use this scenario only to depict the Chosen having such capabilities in our battle with the Dark Souls, while preoccupying the land and lifting our fallen comrades. We behold great power unaware for a few who are still awakening to their own powers, while others know the full power of the many arsenals available to them to successfully win this battle, and indeed, the battle is already won. I say this battle or resistance because we all shall continue to evolve, there will always be more battles to overcome, there is no end game. So stand on you square, knowing who you are, who sent you, why you are here, and what your assignment is. Then rise, and get it done. Stop listening to all the fear peddlers, and getting psyched out, to feel overwhelmed or inadequately weaponized and protected. Oh, we know who they are and why they push that agenda, hoping to thwart us from standing strong in pursuit, attempting to cause the false feeling of defeat and subjugation. Surely we know that the most powerful source of all there is would never send us into battle unequipped. Right. Okay. Then stop your sniffling and boot up. That includes myself as well. Oh yes. There have been days when I come back home after a tough day dealing with the others, and just remain seated on my sofa for hours, just looking out the window, having a moment of pity-party silence. Then, I discovered a way that has greatly affected how I see the world when I leave home and step on the soil. So, after reviewing an old DVD, a popular war story called Apocalypse Now, played by the late Marlon Brando and Martin Sheen, I related my life with the methods and meaning of this great movie. Everyone should have their own way to deal with the world's negative climate. This perception works for me and goes as follows. I imagine that I am part of an elite special forces team called the Chosen, returning to Sigon, Earth, of the perceived adversary, Dark Ones, who enslaves everyone and has every man, woman and child under ultra-mind control, where they no longer realize where they originally came from, nor who they are. Myself along with others in the Special Force team have ourselves previously awakened and escaped this prison, matrix, but have returned to awaken and rescue our fallen comrades. So, when I'm out and about, I observe low-vibrating individuals, crimes, people lacking any type of regard for one another, ignorant and rude folks, all of that. I remain calm and steadfast. Because I'm in Sigon. What else would one expect? This is the enemy's territory. Anywhere we turn will be hostile, mean-spirited, low-vibrating beings, but that's why we're here. Not to judge them, lower ourselves to their low level, argue and fight with them, or attempt to get as far away from them as possible, but to help bring them home, to go back into the dark jungles, the dark places, and bring them back to the light. This little mind trick I play daily has released me from so much disdain and anger against those who we call sheep people, and reminds me why we special forces are here, to reel them in, and awaken as many as possible from the illusion and hypnosis put over them by the Dark One's agenda. No, we can't save all. We have to know when to leave some of them, and concentrate on those that want to ascend. Never spend your precious energy attempting to help anyone that is clearly not ready to evolve. Like in the movie The Matrix, there are the masses that love their delusional world and will fight to keep the Matrix functioning. That is just fact, and one that must be understood and allowed to be as it is. They may have to live many lifetimes until they learn whatever their lessons are, before moving on into higher dimensions. So, special forces, You can adapt a similar strategy, whatever works for you, so that the idea of feeling overwhelmed and defenseless never comes to play again. Recolonize your power and might, while also realizing the tactic of the Dark Ones, like hidden landmines placed to ensnare those who sleeping, if you will. The Dark One's strategy is a brilliant one, to stay in our head and come at us in unseen angles. However, we have the greatest of all strategic offenses. We have the most high and entire company of heaven, supplying and backing us. This is not a battle for the faint at heart, that's why you were selected. Now, what does that reveal about who you truly are? And what lies in you that is even yet to be released? Our mission here is to transmute the darkness back into the light. Our fellow man, who have fallen or chose to follow the left hand or dark path, must be eventually transmuted back into the oneness and perfection of the light of the all. The Dark Ones already know this, now you know, so let us rise up and handle the business. Failure is not an option, because truthfully, the battle has already been won.